Hare Krishna Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Tadar Pran Jai Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Darati Swaparantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunatan Sahagana Raghunatan Tam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhupya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashadya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasari Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye shrinvatam svakata Krishna punyashravana kirtana Rityantastoya bhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam Nastaprayesva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhaktirbhavati naistiki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the person of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Sri Krishna, the person of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead who is praised with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhu Standard Pranam Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Anyone wants to read first? Hare Krishna Gauranga Prabhu Standard Pranam Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. You want to read?
Prabhu, can I read one shloka?
Yes, Prabhu.
बाहिर्षत्सु महाभागो हाविर्धानिः प्रजापतिः क्रियाकाण्डेषु निष्णातो योगेषु च कुरुध्वः बहिर्षाद् of the name Bahirshad Sri Mahabhagaha, very fortunate. Havirdhanihi of the name Havirdhani, Prajapatihi, the post of Prajapati, Kriya Kandeshu, in the matter of fruitive activities, Nishnataha, being merged in, Yogeshu, in mystic yoga practices, Cha, Kurudvaha, Cha also, Kurudvaha, O best of Gurus, Vidura. Translation by His Divine Grace Avaijanananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The great sage Maitreya continued. My dear Vidura, Havirdhana's very powerful son, named Bahirshat, was very expert in performing various kind of ritual sacrifices, and he was also expert in the practice of mystic yoga. By his great qualifications, he became known as Prajapati per birth. In the beginning of creation, there were not many living entities, and consequently, the very powerful living entities or demigods were appointed as Prajapatis in order to beget children and increase the population. There are many Prajapatis, Brahma, Daksha, and Manu are sometimes known as Prajapatis, and Bahirshad, the son of Havirdhana, became one of them. Yasye devaya janaman Manujñam yasjedam devayajnam anuyajñam vitanvatah प्राचीनाग्रैः कुशैर् आसीत् आस्त्रितं वसुधातलम् Yasya whose idam this devayajanam satisfying the demigods by sacrifices anugñanam continually sacrificing vitvantaha executing prachina agraihi keeping the kusha grass facing towards the eastern side kushaihi the kusha grass asit remained astritam scattered vasudhatalam all over the surface of the globe. Translation: Maharaja Bahirshad executed many sacrifices all over the world. He scattered kusha grasses and kept the tops of the grasses pointed eastward. Purport: as stated in the previous verse, Kriya Kandeshu Nishnataha. Maharaj Bahirshad dived very deeply into the fruitive activities of sacrifice. This means that as soon as he finished one yajna in one place, he began performing another yajna in the immediate vicinity. At the present moment, there is similar need to perform Sankirtana yajna all over the world. The Krishna consciousness movement has started performing Sankirtana yajna in different places. And it has experienced that wherever Sankirtana yajna is performed, many thousands of people gather and take part in it. Imperceptible auspiciousness achieved in this connection should be continued all over the world. Members of the Krishna consciousness movement should perform Sankirtan Yajna one after the another, so much so that all the people of the world will either jokingly or seriously chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And thus they will derive the benefit of cleansing the heart. The holy name of the Lord, Hare Nama, is so powerful whether it is chanted jokingly or seriously, the effort of vibrating this transcendental sound will be equally distributed. It is not possible at the present moment to perform repeated yajnas as Maharaj of Bahirshat performed, but it is within our means to perform Sankirtana yajna, which does not cost anything. One can sit down anywhere and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If the surface of the globe is overflooded with the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, the people of the world will be very, very happy. Samudri Devade, text 11. Samudrim Devadevoktam Upayeme Shatadrutim Yam Vikshya Charu Sarvangim Shirorim Kishorim Sushtva Alankritam Parikramantim Udvahe Chakamegni Shukim Iva Samudrim, unto the daughter of the ocean, Devadeva Uktam, being advised by the supreme demigod, Lord Brahma, Upa Lord Brahma, Upayame, married Shatadrutim of the name Shatadruti, Yam, whom, Vikshya, seeing, Charu, very attractive, Sarvangim, all the features of the body, Kishorim, youthful, Sushthu, sufficiently, Alankritam, decorated with ornaments, Parikramantim, circumambulating, Udvahi in the marriage ceremony. Chakame became agitated, attracted. Agnihi, the fire god. Sukim unto Shuki. Eva, like. Translation: Maharaj Bahishat henceforward Prachina Barhi was ordered by the supreme demigod Lord Brahma to marry the daughter of the ocean named Shatadruti. Her bodily features were completely beautiful and she was very young. She was decorated with proper garments, and when she came into marriage arena, she began circumambulating it. The fire god Agni became so attracted to her that he desired a company, exactly as he had formerly desired to enjoy Shuki. Purport: in this verse, the word Sushvalankratam is significant. According to the Vedic system, when a girl is married, she is profusely and gorgeously decorated with costly saris and jewelry. And during the marriage ceremony, the bride circumambulates the bridegroom 7 times. After this, the bridegroom and bride look at one another and become attracted for life. When the bridegroom finds the bride very beautiful, the attraction becomes immediately very strongly fixed. As written in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, men and women are naturally attracted to one another, and when they are united by marriage, that attraction becomes very strong. Being so strongly attached, the bridegroom attempts to set up a nice homestead and eventually a good field for producing heirs. When children come, then friends, and then wealth. In this way, the male becomes more and more entangled in the material conceptions of life, and he begins to think, this is mine, it is I who am acting. In this way, the illusion of material existence is perpetuated. The words Shukim Iva are also significant, but the fire god Agni became attracted by the beauty of Shatadruti while she was circumambulating the bridegroom Prachina Barhi, just as he had previously been attracted to beauty of Shuki, the wife of Saptarshi. When the fire god had been present so long ago at the assembly of Saptarshi, he was attracted by the beauty of Shuki when she was circumambulating the same way. Agni's wife, named Swaha, took the form of Shuki and enjoyed sex life with Agni. Not only the fire god Agni, but the heavenly god Indra and sometimes even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are all very highly situated demigods, are subject to being attracted by sex at any time. The sex drive is so strong in the living entities that the whole material world is running on sex attraction only, and it is due to sex attraction that one remains in the material world and is obliged to accept different types of bodies. The attraction of sex life is more clearly explained in the next verse. Prabhu, actually, I'll have to leave right now. Can
Yes,
anybody
Prabhu. Thank you so
else
much
read?
for reading.
Hare Krishna Dandat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai. Hare Krishna Vivek Prabhu Tanda Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, peace to my brothers and sisters of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, Prabhu. Can you
Would
read,
you like
bro?
to read? Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu. I'm audible, bro?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Text 22, no? I think 12, okay. Vibhuddha Sura Gandharva Muni Siddha Naroragha Vijitha Suryaya Diksu Kvanyantyaiva Nupurayai Vibhuddha learned Asura, the demons, Gandharva, the denizens of Gandharvaloka, Muni, great sages, Siddha, the denizens of Siddhaloka, Nara, the inhabitants of the earthly planets, Uragha, denizens of Nagaloka, Vijitha, captivated, Suryaya by the new breed, Dikshu, in all wait, in all directions, Kvan, Kavanya, Kvanyantya, tinkling Eva only, Nupurya, by her neckle bells. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Well, Satadruti was those being married, the demons, the descendants of Gandharvaloka, the great sages, and the descendants of Siddhaloka, the earthly planets, and Nagaloka, although highly exalted, were all captivated by the tinkling of her ankle bells. Purport. Generally, women become Generally, woman becomes more beautiful when after yearly marriage she gives birth to a child. To give birth to a child is a natural function of a woman, and therefore a woman becomes more and more beautiful as she gives birth to one child after another. In the case of Satadruti, however, she was so beautiful that she attracted the whole universe at her marriage ceremony. She attracted all the learned and exalted demigods simply by the tinkling of her ankle bells. This indicates that all the demigods wanted to see her beauty completely, but they were not able to see it because she was fully dressed and covered with ornaments. Since they could see only her head, the feet of Satadruti became attracted by her ankle bells, which it tinkled as she walked. In other words, the demigods became captivated by her simply by hearing the tinkling of her neck ankle bells. They did not have to see her complete beauty. It is sometimes understood that a person becomes lusty just by hearing the tinkling of bells in the hands of women, or the tinkling of ankle bells, or by seeing a woman's sari. Thus, it is concluded that woman is a complete representation of Maya. Although Vishwamotra was engaged in practicing mystic yoga with closed eyes, his transcendental meditation was broken when he heard the tinkling of bangles on the hands of Menaka. In this way, Vishwamitra Muni became a victim of Minaka and fathered a child who is universally celebrated as son Sakuntala. The conclusion is that no one can save himself from the attraction of woman, even though he be an exalted demigod or an inhabitant of the higher planets. Only a devotee of the Lord who is attracted by Krishna can escape the lures of woman. Yours.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Oh, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna,
The
Lebhan Prabhu.
illusion energy of the
Jai Shri
world
Prabhupada.
cannot attract him. Text 13. Bro, text 13. Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Oh, yes, Vivek Prabhu, you're behind.
Okay.
Are you
Like
back
Prabhu,
now? Is the
yeah, Prabhu,
screen
like,
back?
yeah, Prabhu. Network is not there, so now it is
Yes,
fine, Prabhu.
Prabhu, it's okay.
Text 13. Prani Prachina Varishasa Putra Satra Satadrutyam Dasha Bhavan Tulya Nama Vratha Sarve Dharma Santha Parachitasa Prachitasa Prachina Bharishya of King Prachina Bhari Putraha Sans Satadrutyam in the womb of Satadruti. Dasa 10 Abhavan Bhavan became manifest. Tulya equally. Nama name. Vratha vow. Survey all. Dharma religiosity. Santha completely merged in Prachatesha. All of them being designated as Prachetas. Translation: King Prachinnabhari begot 10 children in the womb of Satadruti, and all of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and all of them were known as the Prachetas. Purport: the word Dharmasantha is uh, purport. The word Dharmasantha is significant, for the 10 children were all merged in the practice of religion. In addition, they possessed all good qualities. One is supposed to be perfect when one is perfectly religious, perfect in the execution of one's vows, to render devotional service, perfect in knowledge, perfect in good behavior, and so on. All the prachatasas of all no 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 all the prachetasa were on the same level of perfection. Text 14. Pit, Pitradeshtha praja sarge tapase nranavam avishtan dasha varsa sahasrani tapasrachams tapaspatim synonyms. Pitra by the father, Adhishtha being ordered by Praja Sarge in the matter of begetting children, Tapasya for executing austerity, Arnavam in the ocean, Avinsan entered, Varsa 10 years, the Dashavarsa 10 years, Sahasrani such thousands Tapasa by their austerity, Archan worshipped Tapa of austerity, Patim the master. Translation. When all these Prachechasas were ordered by their father to marry and beget children, they all entered the ocean and practiced austerity and penances for 10,000 years. Thus they worshipped the master of all austerity, the supreme person of Godhead. Purport. Sometimes great sages and atheists entered the Himalaya mountains in order to find a solution from the turmoil of the world. It appears, however, that all the Prachetas, the sons of Prachinnabari, entered the depths of the ocean to perform austerity in a secluded place. Since they performed austerities for 10,000 years, this incident took place in the Satya Yuga. When people used to live for 100,000 years, it is also significant that by their austerity they worshipped the master of austerity, Sri Krishna, the supreme person of Godhead. If one wants to perform austerities and penances in order to attain the supreme goal, one must attain the favor of the supreme personality of Godhead. If one achieves the favor of the Supreme Lord, it is to be understood that he has finished all kinds of austerities and penances and has attained efficiency in their execution. On the other hand, if one does not attain the perfection stage of devotion service, all austerities and penances actually have no meaning. For without the Supreme Lord, no one can attain the highest results derived from performing them. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna is the master of all penances and sacrifices. Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Sudram Sarvabhutanam Jnatva Mam Santim Prachati. The sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. Bhagavad Gita 5.29. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it is also stated that even if a person is born in a family of Chandalas, the lowest birth one can get in human society, he is glorious if he chants the holy name of the Lord. For it is to be understood that by such chanting, a devotee definitely proves that he underwent all kinds of austerities in his previous lives. By the grace of Lord Chaitanya, one who chants the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, attains the perfectional stage which had previously been attained by people who entered the ocean and executed austerities for 10,000 years. In this age of Kali, if a person does not take advantage of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna mantra, which is offered as a great concession to the fallen human being of this age. It is to be understood that he will become very much bewildered by the illusionary energy of this Lord. Text 15. Yad uktam pati drishtena girisena parasiddhatta तद्यान्तो जपन्तश्च पूजयन्तश्च संयथा synonyms. Yet that Uktam said Pati on the way Drishtena while meeting Girishena by Lord Shiva Prasiddhata being very much satisfied that that Dhyayanta meditating Japantha cha chanting also Pujayantha cha worshipping also Samyantha with great control. Translation: when all the sons of pra, Pari, uh, Prachinabhari left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who, out of great mercy, instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachinabhari meditated upon the instructions, chanting and worshipping them with great care and attention. Purport: it is clear that to perform austerities or penances, or for that matter, any form of devotional service, one has to be guided by a spiritual master. Here it is clearly stated that the 10 sons of Maharaj Prachinabhari were favored by an appearance of Lord Shiva, who, out of great kindness, gave them instructions regarding the execution of austerities. Lord Shiva actually became the spiritual master of 10 sons, and in turn, his disciples took his words so seriously that simply by meditating upon his instructions, they became perfect. This is the secret of success. After being initiated and receiving the orders of the spiritual master, the disciples should unhesitatingly think about the instructions or orders of the spiritual master and should not allow himself to be disturbed by anything else. This is also the verdict of Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, who, while explaining a verse of Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasya Mika Buddhir Ekeha Kuru Nandana, Bhagavad Gita 2.41, points out that the orders of spiritual master is the life substance of the disciple. The disciple shouldn't consider whether he is going back home, back to Godhead. His first business should be execute the order of his spiritual master. Those disciples should always meditate on the order of the spiritual master, and that is perfectionist meditation. Not only should he meditate upon the order, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. Text 16. Vidura Vacha Prachetasam Giritrena Yatasti Pati Sangama Yad Uttha Harha Prithas Tanno Brahman Vradhastava Vidura Uvacha. Vidura inquired, Prachetasam, of all the Prachetas, Giri Trena, by Lord Shiva. Yata has Asit, it was Pathi, on the road. Sangham, meeting. Yat, which Uttaha said. Harha, Lord Shiva. Pritha, Pritha, being pleased that unto you has Brahman, O great Brahmana, speak, Vada, speak, Arthavat, with clear meaning. Translation: Vidura asked Maitreya, my dear Brahmana, why did the Prachetas met Lord Shiva on the way? Please tell me how the meeting happened, how Lord Shiva became very pleased with them, and how he instructed them. Certainly, such talks are important, and I wish that you will please be merciful upon me and describe them. Purport. Whenever there are some important talks between a devotee and the Lord, or between exalted devotees, one should be very much curious to hear them. At the meeting of Na- at the meeting of Naimisharanya, where Suta Goswami spoke Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to all the great sages. Suta Goswami was also asked about the talks between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadev Goswami. For the for the sages believed that the talks between Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit must have been as important as the talks between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, as everyone is still eager to hear the subject of Bhagavad Gita in order to become perfectly enlightened. Vidura was similarly eager to learn from the great sage Maitreya about the talks between Lord Shiva and the Prachitas. Text 17. Sangamakalu विपर्से स्वेनेह शरीरनं दुर्लभो मुनयो ददयुर्ददयुरसङ्गद्यम् अभि अभि अभिपिश्चितं संघम association kalau certainly viprarase o best of the brahmanas sevena sevena along with Lord Shivena. Yeah, in this word shari shariranam shari those who are engaged in material bodies durlabham very rare munayaya great sages Dadayuhu engaged themselves in meditation, Asanghat being detached from anything else, Yam onto whom Abhipistatam desiring. Translation. The great sage Vidura continued, O best of the Brahmanas, it is very difficult for living entities engaged within this material world to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Even great sages who have no material attachments do not contact him despite their always being absorbed in meditation to attain his personal contact. Very good for attaining. Okay. Support. Since Lord Shiva does not since Lord Shiva does not uh, oi, okay, support. Since Lord Shiva does not incarnate himself unless there is some special reason, it is very difficult for an ordinary person to contact him. However, Lord Shiva does descend on a special occasion when he is ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, it is stated in the Padma Purana that Lord Shiva appeared as a Brahmana in the age of Kali to preach the Mayavada philosophy, which is not nothing but a type of Buddhist philosophy. It is stated in Padma Purana, Mayavadam asat shrishtam shrishtam prachananam buddham uchyate maya eva vihitam devi kalau brahmana murtina. Lord Shiva speaking to Parvati Devi foretold that he would spread the Mayavada philosophy in this guise of a sannyasi brahmana just to eradicate Buddhist philosophy. This sannyasi was Sripada Sankaracharya. Okay. In order to overcome the effects of Buddhist philosophy and spread Vedanta philosophy, Sripada and Sankaracharya had to make some compromise with the Buddhist philosophy, and as such, he preached the philosophy of monism. For it was required at that time, otherwise, there was no need for his preaching Mayavada philosophy. At the present moment, there is no need for Mayavad philosophy nor Buddhist philosophy, and Lord Chaitanya rejected both of them. This Krishna consciousness movement is spreading the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya and rejecting the philosophy of both classes of Mayavada. Strictly speaking, both Buddhist philosophy and Shankaracharya's philosophy are but different types of Mayavada dealing on the platform of material existence. Neither of these philosophies has spiritual significance. There is spiritual significance only after one accepts the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, which culminates in surrendering unto the supreme personality of Godhead. Generally, people worship Lord Shiva for some material benefit, although they cannot see him personally, they nonetheless drive great material profit by worshipping him. Text 18. Atmarao. Text. Okay. Text 18. Atmaramopi yastvasya lokakalpasya radhase सक्त्या युक्तो विचरते विचरति घोरयाया भवान् भव भगवान् भव अत्त आत्मारामः self-satisfied api although he is yaha one who is too but asya this loka material world kalpasya when manifested radhase for the matter of helping its existence Satya or potencies yuktha being engaged which vicharati he acts ghoraya very dangerous Bhagavan his lordship Bhava Shiva translation Lord Shiva the most powerful demigod second one de- powerful demigod second only to Lord Shiva Vishnu he is self-sufficient although he has nothing to aspire for in the material world for the benefit of those in the material world he is always busy engaged everywhere and he is accompanied by his dangerous energies like goddess Kali and goddess Durga. Okay. Purport. Goddess Kali, goddess Durga. Purport. Lord Shiva is known as the greatest devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is also known as Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambho, the best of all types of Vaishnavas. Consequently, Lord Shiva has the Vaishnava Sampradaya, the disciple succession known as Rudra Sampradaya. Just as there is a Brahma Sampradaya coming directly from the Lord Brahma, the Rudra Sampradaya comes directly from Lord Shiva. As stated in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Lord Shiva is one of the 12 great personalities. This refers to the 12 great authorities which preach God consciousness. The name Shambhu means Lord Shiva. His disciple succession was also known as the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. And the current Vishnu Swami Sampradaya is also known as the Vallabha Sampradaya. The current Brahma Sampradaya is known as the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Even though Lord Shiva appeared to preach Mayavad philosophy at the his uh, end of his pastimes in the form of Shankaracharya, he preached the Vaishnava philosophy. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Budamate. He trusted worshipping Lord Krishna or Govinda 3 times in this verse and especially warned his followers that they could not possibly achieve deliverance or mukti simply by word jugglery and grammatical puzzles. If one is actually serious to attain mukti, he must worship Lord Krishna. That is Sripada Shankaracharya's last instruction. 1 minute, Prabhu. Ah, herein it is mentioned that Lord Shiva is always accompanied by his material energy, Satya Ghoraya, material energy. Goddess Durga or Goddess Kali is always under his control. Material energy, Goddess Durga and Goddess Kali is always under control. Goddess Kali and Durga serve him by killing all the asuras or demons. Sometimes Kali becomes so Freya stated that she indiscriminately kills all kinds of asuras. There is a popular picture of goddess Kali in which she wears a garland composed of the heads of the asuras and holds in her left hand in a captured head and in her right hand a great khan- khad- khadha, khadga or chopper for killing asuras. Great wars are symbolic representations of Kali's devastations of the asuras and are actually conducted by the goddess Kali. Shri Shri Stithi Pralaya Sadhana Saktir Ekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Bibhrati Durga. BS 5.44. Asuras, however, tried to pacify the goddess Kali or Durga by worshipping her in material opulence, but when the Asuras became too intolerable, goddess, goddess Kali does not discriminate in killing them wholesale. Asuras do not know the secret of the energy of Lord Shiva, and they prefer to worship goddess Kali or Durga or Lord Shiva for material benefit. Due to great demonic character, they are reluctant to surrender to Lord Krishna, as indicated by Bhagavad Gita. Namam dushkritano mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya prahastha jnana asuram bhava ashrita. Bhagavad Gita 7.15. Lord Shiva's duty is very dangerous because he has to employ the energy of goddess Kali or Durga in goddess Durga. In another popular picture of the goddess Kali is sometimes seen standing on the posture body of Lord Shiva, which indicates which indicates that sometimes Lord Shiva has to fault in order to stop goddess Kali from killing the Asuras. Since Lord Shiva controls the great material energy goddess Durga, worshippers of Lord Shiva attain very opulent positions within this material world under Lord Shiva's direction. A worshipper of Lord Shiva gets all kinds of material facilities. In contrast, a Vaishnava or worshipper of Lord Vishnu gradually becomes poorer in material possessions because Lord Vishnu does not trick his devotee into becoming material entangled by possessions. Lord Vishnu gives his devotees intelligence from within, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Thus Lord Vishnu gives intelligence to his devotee so that the devotee can make progress on the path of back home, back to Godhead. Since a devotee has nothing to do with any kind of material possessions, he does not come under the control of goddess Kali or the goddess Durga. Lord Shiva is also in charge of the Tamoguna or the mode of ignorance. In this material world, both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are incarnations of Lord Vishnu. But Lord Brahma is in charge of creation, whereas Lord Shiva is in charge of the destruction, which he carries out with the help of his material energy, goddess Kali or goddess Durga. This is those in this verse, Lord Shiva is described as being accompanied by dangerous potencies, Satya Ghoraya, and that is the actual position of Lord Shiva. Text 19. Maitreya Vacha Prachetasa Pitur Vakyam Shirasadhya Sadhava Tesham Prati Pratichim Prayayus तपस्ये अद्रता चेतसा Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued to speak. Prachetasa, all the sons of King Prachinabhari, Pithu of the father, Vakyam, words, Shirasa, on the head, Adya, accepting, Sad, Sadhava, all pious, Desham, direction, Prachit, Prachi, Pratichim, Western, Prayayu went away, Tapasi, in austerities, Adrita, accepting seriously, Chetasa, in the heart. Translation: The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prachinabhari very seriously accepted the words of their father with great sorry what is it Prachinavari very seriously accepting the words of their father with heart and soul, and with these words on their heads they went toward the west to execute their father's order. Purport: in these words, nature, okay. In these words, sattva, meaning pious or well behaved, is very important, especially at the present moment. It is derived from the word sadhu. A perfect sadhu is one who is always engaged in devotion service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prachina sons are described as sadhava because of their complete obedience to their father. The father, king and spiritual master are supposed to be representatives. 1 minute, two. I will read one second. Because of their complete obedience to their father, the father, king, and spiritual master are supposed to be representatives of the supreme personality of Godhead. King, father, and spiritual master. Okay, okay. And as such, they have to be respected as the supreme lord. It is the duty of the father, the spiritual master and the king to regulate their subordinates in such a way that they ultimately become fully unalloyed devotee of the Supreme Lord. That is the duty of the superiors, and it is the duty of the subordinates to obey their orders perfectly and in a disciplined way. The word shirasya on their heads is also significant, for the prachetas accepted the orders of their father and carried them on their heads, which means they accepted them in complete surrender. Text 20. Sasambho, sasam, sasamud, sasamudram upa vish, vishtit, vistrinam apasyan su mahatsara mohan mana eva swachham prasanna salilasyam sa synonyms sa sambu samudram almost near the ocean uppa more or less vistrinam very wide and long apasyan they saw su mahat very great saraha reservoir of water mahat great soul manaha mind eva like su acham clear prasanna and joyful salila water ashyam sayam taken shelter of. Translation: while traveling, the Prachetas happened to see a great reservoir of water which seemed almost as big as the ocean. The water of this lake was so calm and quiet that it seemed like the mind of a great soul, and its inhabitants, the aquatics, appeared to be very peaceful and happy. See, great reservoir of water which Prabhu. Translation. While traveling, the Prachetas happened to see a great reservoir of water which seemed almost big as the ocean. Uh, the water of this lake was so calm and quiet that it seemed like the mind of a great soul, and its inhabitants, the aquatics, appeared to be very peaceful and happy to be under the protection of such a watery reservoir. Purport. The word Sasamudra means near the sea. The reservoir of water was like a bay, for it was not very far from the sea. Far from the sea. The word upa, meaning more or less, is used in many ways, as in the word upapti, which indicates a husband, more or less. That is to say, a lover who is acting like a husband. Upa also means greater. Understand? For meaning, which indicates when a husband, more or less. That is to say that he is acting like as husband. Upa also means greater, smaller, or nearer. Considering all these points, the river of water, which was seen by the Prachetas while they were traveling, was actually a large bay or lake, and unlike the sea or ocean, which has trum- turbulent waves, this reservoir was very calm and quiet. Indeed, the water was so clear that it seemed like the mind of some great soul. There may be many great souls, jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas, or pure devotees, are also called great souls, but they are very rarely found. One can find many great souls among us yogis and jnanis, but a truly great soul, a pure devotee of the Lord, who is fully surrendered to the Lord, is very rarely found. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha, Bhagavad Gita 7.19. A devotee's mind is always calm, quiet, and desireless because he is always anyabhishita sunyam, and he has no desire other than to serve Krishna as his personal servant, friend, father, mother, or conjugal lover. Due to his association with Krishna, a devotee is always very calm and cool. It is also significant that within the reservoir of all the aquatics were also very calm and quiet because the disciples of a devotee disciplines disciples disciples of devotee have taken shelter of a great man. They became very calm and quiet and are not agitated by the waves of material world. Of the material world, okay. This material world is often described as the version of essence. In such an essence, everything is agitated. Now, the mind of a great devotee is also like an ocean or a very large lake. But there is no agitation, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Vyavashamika buddhir ekheha kuru nandanaha. Bhagavad Gita 2.41. Those who are fixed in service of the Lord are not agitated by anything. It is also stated in Bhagavad Gita. Yes means shit, shit. Yes means shito na dukhena guru napi vichalate vichalyate. Bhagavad Gita 2, 6.22. Even if he suffers some, if even if he suffers some reveals in life, re, uh, reveals in life, a devotee is never agitated. Therefore, whomever takes shelter or a great soul or a great devotee becomes pacified. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated, Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atvena Ateva Santha. CC Madhya 19.149. A devotee of Lord Shri Krishna, the devotee of Lord Krishna is always peaceful because he has no desire. Whereas the yogis, karmis, and jnanis have no so many desires to fulfill. One may argue that the devotees have desires, for they wish to go back to Godhead. But such a desire does not agitate the mind. Although he wishes to go back to Godhead, a devotee is satisfied in any condition of life. Consequently, the word moh, Mahanmana is used in this verse to indicate that the reservoir of water was as calm and quiet as the mind of a great devotee. Quiet and calm.
Okay, Haribol, one more verse.
Text 21. Nila Raktat Ni- Nila Raktotpalam Bhoja Khal Khalaren Diva Raktaram Hamsa Hamsa Sarasa Chakratva Karana Karandva Nikujitham Nila blue Rakta red Utpala lotus Amboja born from the water Kal Kalhara another kind of lotus in Indivira Indivira another kind of lotus Aquarum the mine Hamsa swans Sarasa Karns Chakrohavam the ducks of the name Karandva birds of the name Nikunjitam vibrated by their sounds. Translation: in that great lake there was different types of lotus flowers. Some of them were bluish and some of them were red. Some of them grew at night, some in the day, and some like the Indivara lotus flower in the evening. Combined together, the lotus flower filled the lake so full that the lake appeared to be a great mine of such flowers. Consequently, on the shores there were swans and corns, chakravaka, karn, kara, karandva, karandva, and also sorry, and other beautiful water birds standing about. The word akaram mine is significant in this verse, for the reservoir of water appeared like a mine for from which different types of lotus flowers were produced. Some of them lotus flowers grew during the day, some at night, and some in the evening. And accordingly, they had different names and different colors. All these flowers were present on that lake, and because the lake was so calm and quiet and filled with lotus flowers, superior birds like swans, uh, chakravakas, and karanadvas stood on the shores and vibrated their different songs, making the entire scene attractive and beautiful. As there are different types of human beings, according to the association of the three qualities of material nature, there are similarly different types of birds, bees, trees, etc. Everything is divided into the three qualities of material nature. Birds like swans and corns who enjoy clear waters and lotus flowers are different from crows who enjoy filthy fil- filthy places. Similarly, there are persons who are controlled by modes of ignorance and passion, and those who are controlled by the modes of goodness. The creation is so varied that there are always varieties found in every society. Those on the bank of this lake, all the superior birds lived to enjoy that atmosphere created by that great reservoirs filled with lotus flowers. Okay. Text 22. matha brahm matha bra brahmara matha brahmara saustar sausvaraya rishtha roma लथंग्रिपं पद्मा कोशारजो दिक्षु विक्स विक्षिपत् पवनोत्सवं मथा mad brahmaram bumblebees su swaswara swaswarya swaswarya with great humming Rishta joyfully. Roma, hair on the body. Latha, creepers. Angri, angri, gripam, trees. Padam, padma, lotus flower. Kosha, vrol. Raja, raja, saffron. Dikshu, dikshu in all creations. Vix, vixipat, throwing away. Pavana, pavana, air. Utsavam, festival. Translation: there were various trees and creepers on all sides of the lake, and there were mad bumblebees humming all about them. The trees appeared to be very jolly due to sweet humming of the bumblebees, and the saffron, which was sorry, saffron saffron, which was contained in the lotus flowers, was being thrown into the air. These all created such an atmosphere that it appeared as though a festival were taking place there. Purport: trees and creepers are also different types of living beings. When bumblebees come upon here, trees and creepers to collect honey, certainly such planets become very happy. On such an occasion, the wind also takes advantage of the situation by throwing pollen or saffron contained in the lotus flowers. All these combines with the sweet vibration created by the swans and the calm of the water. The Prachetas consider such a place to be like a continuous festival. From this description, it appeared that the Prachetas reached Shivaloka, which is supposed to be situated near the Himalayan mountains. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Thank you so
Thank you so much,
much.
Prabhu.
Maybe you are going to read
Haribo.
the
Thank you,
rest
Prabhu,
of
for
it.
reading. Prabhu, the last verse, what does it say, Prabhu?
What to do, Prabhu?
The last verse.
It's this one. Can you see it?
Yes, Prabhu, this is. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Vivek, Prabhu. Now we need to go to six Astakam prayers because we ran out of time.
Okay,
Who
Prabhu.
wants to start?
Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam Shreya kavachandrika vitaranam Vidya vadu jivanam Anandam burdevardhanam pratipadam Purnamritasvadanam Sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Namnamakari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatrarpitanyamita smaranena kalaha eta trisheta vakrupan bhagavan mamapi durudaivametrisham jina nuragraha.
निधनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीशकामे मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहितुकी त्वयि Should I continue, Prabhu, or somebody wants to read? Vainandutonu Kinkaram Patitam Namishme Brahmaruka Peda Pada Pankajastiti Gudisa Chintaya Angalavashidanta Ashishwabhavitantanishtamam Karotuba Tata Vavatidatam Patona Pranamatistis or even opera.
Glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to living beings and thus with hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda in these transcendental names. You have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of your kindness, you enable us to approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the star in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servitor. Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering to be a moment like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Haribol, Shri Siksastakam ki jai, Chaitanya
Jai,
Mahaprabhu ki
Jai,
Jai.
Jai.
Gaujal Makarayati Shavana Kirtan, Tabutana Pa Krishna Pade Premadan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of God. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The 10 offenses against the holy name are as follows. The first offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu.
Third offense is to disobey the orders of spiritual master or to think of him as an ordinary person.
Fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic literatures or literature in preference of the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda.
Ninth offense, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Tenth offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnav must guard against. Can go down, bro. These offenses. In order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema, I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls.
Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhya patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
Jai.
Jai.
नामाचार्य
Thank you
श्रील
so much for
हरिदास
forgiving
ठाकुर
me
की
the
जय।
Jai.
Jai.
श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
Jai.
नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।
Hari